So welcome to this tour video of our homestead. This was filmed back in early June. Not had a lot of time to do videos recently, but here we are at the top of our drive walking down to our property, and as you can see, it's nicely surrounded by lots of trees, and there's the beehives in the background, and there's our maple trees that we got our maple juice from for the maple syrup in a previous video. There's ruins on the property from previous dwellings, and our well where our water's pumped up from. There's the main property in the background there, and we've got fruit trees in the garden. There's our firewood pile. So we're just walking along towards the orchard and our fruit garden, fruit bushes. Blackcurrants are currently ready to be harvested. I'll just show you a close-up of our blackcurrants. We've cut a lot of these bushes back to allow them to grow more. Still a lot of work to do there. We need to chip the area really, get some wood chips down. So now we're walking towards the traditional field, or field number 1. This is varied in size over the years, but it's traditional in the fact that it's ploughed once in the autumn, once in the spring, and then rowed up. Doesn't matter what's being sown, it's put into rows. Incredibly inefficient way to grow stuff, but nevertheless. Next year we'll be moving to a no-till system where we can grow a lot more. So you can see there's 4 rows of potatoes, there's cabbages, there's beets, lots of onions, and some dwarf beans and some tall beans. As I say, this is filmed back in June. Here's a few photos of what it looks like now. See, the beans are a lot taller and onions are nice and big. Yeah, so peas, managed to good selection of vegetables that will sustain us through the winter. A lot of these will be canned and pickled, as well as obviously eating fresh. And there's loads of room to expand the field and to grow more stuff should we need it. It's our IBC tote, which I installed earlier this year and built that frame. We've got 2 totes, one here and one down on the our other field where the greenhouses are. So walking back towards the property now. You see we're completely surrounded by trees. We harvest all the rainwater from the property into those sort of blue barrels, and then that's pumped around to the 2 different IBC totes. There's the steps up to the front entrance, and there's our yard, I guess you call it, with various flower beds, which my mother-in-law looks after, and she does that very well. And we have flowers throughout the spring and summer that come up, all different colours and types. So we're just walking over towards the beehive area, which is also our composting area. There's a maple here stacked that was cut down last year, so that's all seasoned now and needs chopping. There's our old compost pile. You'll see now that we've built new compost piles, and the beehives in the background there. This is the main barn, and that is a stable on the end there, or a coot as it's called in Latvian, which you can have chickens or pigs or any sort of animal really. And then there's a workshop, and then there's that lean-to which you just saw. This is our firewood chopping area. There's a fresh pile of firewood here which will get stacked under the eaves of the barn, of another barn actually. We have some great oaks on the property. Lots of sticks there from trees that have been cut. Everything, we try and use as many natural resources as we can. This is an area that really needs to tidy up, but it's predominantly used for firewood chopping. And then that's firewood is stacked alongside, as you can see here. We tend to have 2 or 3 years supply of firewood at any one time in various areas. So this is there's the lean-to. and it could be called a pole bun, I think, so I've heard. But anyway, this is the entrance to the basement, and the roof desperately needs repair, which we've subsequently done. And down there we store all our potatoes and harvested goods and canned goods, pickles, jams, all that kind of stuff. And some more firewood stacked up there. And some more ruins. There's been a dwelling on the property for, I think, 200 years. This is my hops experiment. Didn't work out this year, I don't know why. I didn't get any flowers, so we'll try again next year. So we've got some other fruit bushes here, some gooseberries and some raspberries and some blueberries. And here's some peas which I've sown. We've tried to maximise the areas that are available to us this year, and experimented with planting different things in different places to find out what works. And this is sort of a little kitchen garden here with garlic and herbs. Cold box there, cold frame. And we're just going over towards, there's some dill. Latvians use a lot of dill in cooking. And then there's this terraced compost area which we made up smart, and then hadn't realised that it hadn't composted correctly, and there's lots of seeds in there, but nevertheless it gave us lots of tomatoes and pumpkins and stuff like that, squashes. You get a view there towards the barn in a sort of terraced area. There's greenhouse number 1, or the old greenhouse. This was another field here. It hasn't been used for, I guess, about 10 years as a field, so it's just mowed. Here we're going to hopefully have a hugelkultur. We're just sort of laying out a piece of tarp to see what it might look like if we had something there that we couldn't walk around. There's the second IBC tote, which we use to water the greenhouses. So if we go into greenhouse number 1, or Oma's greenhouse, lots of tomatoes. There's some cucumbers, gherkins at the back, which we pickle with Oma's secret recipe, which I'm told is the best in the village. They certainly are tasty gherkins. Into this new greenhouse which we built earlier this year, and there's a video actually on our channel where you can see a time-lapse video of us making it. We're really happy with this tunnel greenhouse, polycarbonate. So lots of tomatoes, tomatillos, chilies, peppers, other few bits and pieces, some late runner beans there, just growing seed from seed, and some Swiss chard, or mangolds as it's called in the rest of the world. So this is our I guess I'll call it labs area, different experiments. Using different types of fertiliser, all organic, but this is our roof stout method, no dig potatoes. Again, with experiment, worked out really well. Something we're going to move towards more next year. A lot less effort to grow potatoes, just stick them in some straw and compost. At the back there we've got some peas, and there will be runner beans as well, and you can see the sort of field and this the area we're surrounded by. The trees there are our borderline, and there's a lake behind it. It's very idyllic, lovely place to live. We'll just now walk towards the corner of the field just to show you our sort of wild raspberries that we have growing here, and there's also an apple tree. Towards the back there is our forest, so we're in the corner of the sort of property really. wild raspberries. So that's our homestead tour. Thanks for watching the video. Check us out on Instagram, Baltic Homesteaders, and do subscribe to our channel if you want to catch up with more videos as we make them. Thanks for watching.